be a high-level wrestler to wrestle against the cage. And that's why you have guys who never wrestle, who can out-wrestle NCAA wrestlers in MMA. And it's because wrestling against the cage is cheating. Once the butt is against the cage, the cage is carrying the weight. So the weight has to either come up as elevation or the weight has to sink. And what I do is I teach my guys to feel those two sensations. It's either neutral or it goes up or it sinks. So when I get against the cage and it sinks, that's when I do my flip. Right? Now see how this is really good? So with him it's a little bit harder, right? But now I'm running and now I'm here, now I'm here. See what I just did? He's sinking. You felt that? Now sometimes he might go up. If he goes up, right, then I do double leg and I pick him up, then I dunk him. And that's what and this is why people go competing with guys suck at wrestling. Because they're using the cage, but they're not.
When you're a wrestler and you used to wrestle guys out here, it's so different. It's 100.
We came to the same conclusion with the Dagestanis that they're better cage wrestlers.
But they're good at cage wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you're bad. Okay, no, but you guys understand? So now, if I'm here, let's see how. So now I might have that right here, and what they do is they just come down and they just tilt them.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
See that? And that's the guy's handcuff right here. So they develop a whole system around that. And what they do is they use the strike, the bum rush against the cage. So you're all American, and you have 10,000 hours of wrestling, but only 1,000 of it, maybe 100 against the cage. And they did the reverse. They spent all their life training against the cage. So when they jump to UFC, they're neutralizing all the American wrestlers. Does that help? Right? Now, granted, they do sambo, and sambo is wrestling and judo. So I call that knowledge advantage. They know everything you know, and they know something you don't know. And what they're going to do is they're going to exploit you on the things you don't know, which is hip throw, which is tilt, which is uchimata, and all these weird Japanese names. Does that help you a little bit? Like, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
You want to add anything to that? Like, you want to just explain high level, whatever?
Yeah, just about kind of the wrestling stuff and the styles. You guys, as fighters, you're not wrestlers. You came here to get better at wrestling, right? And here's my advice. Get better at wrestling against the wall, and then just put them on the wall and wrestle from there. Because that's going to eliminate the wrestling advantage that the elite wrestlers have on you.
Yes.
Right? So if you're going to wrestle, if you can't, punch them in the face. They suck at defending that.
Yeah.
If you're not out striking them, put them on the cage. This is the next place to be, right? And now, and Coach has this theory that we've talked about a lot about training specifically for MMA.
Yes.
Don't train wrestling for wrestling and boxing for boxing.
Yes.
Train boxing for MMA and wrestling for MMA. And I agree with that, but I think there's, that's hard to find for one.
Yeah.
I have an adult wrestling class on Wednesdays. You guys are welcome to come in, and I'll work on wrestling for MMA stuff. But the trick is, and the key to becoming a mixed martial artist is learning the specific pieces of those martial arts. Come to a wrestling class, learn strict wrestling, but then immediately go against the cage and say, how can I use that wrestling that I learned to give me an advantage against the cage?